Remnant, sons and daughters of God, children of the Most High, sharing the Creator of the universe's DNA. Today, I'm going to explain a little bit about what's going to happen when we refuse to follow the Antichrist, when we refuse to take orders from the New World Order, the One World Government, when we refuse to join the One World Religion, the One World Church, which has been established already here, or will be established in the month of September 2020. When we refuse not to follow the false prophet, to join the World Bank, when we refuse the mark of the beast, where will we go? What will we do? How will God take care of us? If there is no rapture before all of these things happen, what's going to happen to us? What's going to happen to the remnant? What's going to happen to the chosen? What's going to happen to the sons and daughters of God? Well, I'll explain it to you a little bit out of Revelations chapter 12. As best as I can. I've been talking to the Lord about this, and he said I seem to have his approval to be able to read this and talk about it a little bit. So, Revelations chapter 12. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. Let me explain this a little bit. This is a wonder in heaven. And this woman, clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, she has 12 stars, a crown of 12 stars. I believe that this crown of 12 stars is the 12 tribes of Israel. The moon is the church, which reflects the sun. The woman is the church. And she, being with child, cried, travailing at birth, pained to be delivered. I believe the Lord he can't wait for to get this rolling with the remnant, these end times. It's been waiting for a long time to do this, and we've been chosen to go all through this. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, which is Satan, the Antichrist, the son of Satan, the great red dragon, having 7 heads. I believe the 7 heads are the 7 continents in the world, on the earth today. 7 heads and 10 horns, which are the 10 kings. I believe that's the 10 kings that will be ruling over the earth in the last days, and 7 crowns upon his heads. So the Antichrist will be ruling the earth, and the 10 kings will be subject to him. There will be 10 different provinces across the earth. Coming up here in the next decade, I believe this will be happening. Now, this red dragon, his tail drew a third part of the stars from heaven. Now, the third part of the stars, that is a third of the angels that were previously in heaven at the time. They were cast and did cast them to earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, to deliver her child as soon as it was born. So Satan and his angels are roaming around here on earth, causing us all kinds of trouble. You can see what's going on across the earth today. It's them. Nothing but chaos is going on now, and it's escalating. Things are happening quicker and quicker. There's so many things going on now so many problems that they've caused. You can't even keep track of them. It's just ridiculous. You could write a pages and pages and pages of the things that are going on now. And the woman which was ready to be delivered, or to deliver her child as soon as excuse me, the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, to deliver her child, to devour her child as soon as it was born. So the devil knows who we are and would love to destroy us all. As soon as we're born, a lot of us, I was almost destroyed before I was born. My mother was kicked in her stomach, and I was almost aborted. So the enemy had it out for me, and he's had it out for all of us, all of our entire lives. Number 5, and she brought forth a man-child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. This is the Lord Jesus Christ. We are the rod of iron, which I'll have to explain that later on. But there's a lot of people think that it's just going to be over with after World War III and everything's all destroyed and everything. It's not. There's going to be a lot of people still alive here on earth. And they'll have a chance to give their lives over to the Lord one day too. But the Lord's going to set up. He will be here on earth. He's going to be here ruling for 1,000 years. So there has to be people here for him to rule on the earth for 1,000 years. He's not going to rule over a bunch of saints. That'll be us. It's going to be the people that are still alive here on earth. They'll be cleaning up the dead bodies and rebuilding the earth, and we'll have a part in that also too. But the Lord will be ruling with a rod of iron, and we will be a part of the rod of iron to get the world whipped back into the shape, and we'll have 1,000 years to do it. It's going to be great. And her child was caught up unto God and to his throne. So the Lord went back to God, to the throne, is there, and he sits there right now at this time. That's what this is saying. And the woman fled into the wilderness. The woman is us. The wilderness. And if you remember the wilderness, back in the Exodus, the days of Moses, it wasn't that bad. The Egyptians chased them. Well, first of all, the Egyptians, they never wanted to set them free as slaves. And so they got really beat up really, really bad. They kept changing their mind. They said, set them free and then don't set them free. Pharaoh said, set them free and don't set them free. Set them free. And he did that 10 times. And if you go back to the book of Exodus, you'll see the 10 plagues. And then finally, he let them go. He let us go. We are Israel. We are the woman. Israel is the woman. And he chased them to the Red Sea. And long story short, Moses split the water in half with his rod. And Israelites fled to the other side while the Egyptians were chasing them. Now the Israelites were headed towards the promised land that God had made for them. And then all the Egyptians were swallowed up. While they were on their way to the promised land, they were swallowed up in the they all drowned in the Red Sea. Everybody drowned it. So you can see how God is going to take good care of us, how God is going to take good care of you. You want to qualify for this, you see. See, there are 30, 60, and 100-fold type of Christians. You want to be 100-fold if you can get there. I don't know what that entails. I don't know what it inquires, but you certainly want to press into God and talk to him and figure it out with him so that you can whittle away the things that are unclean out of your life, the things that are unlike God out of your life, and so that you can qualify. Now, also, too, so the woman fled into the wilderness. Now, the wilderness wasn't bad. It had plenty of water. It sounds like it's bad. It's like it's going to be like lions and tigers and elephants and mosquitoes and all that. They didn't have it. They didn't have that in the wilderness. They had water. They had a cloud over them, and at nighttime it was fire. and it was heat. They never got cold. The daytime it was cool because it was a desert, heat, 120 degrees like Arizona probably. So it was nice and cool. It was air conditioned. And lots of food. They woke up every day to fresh food. So it wasn't that, and they had shelter. They had everything they needed. It was great. Nowadays it's modern. It's probably going to be a bit different, and we won't be in the middle of a desert in tents. I don't believe. I think we'll be in houses somewhere, and we'll be shielded. There will be a shield, like the cloud shielded them and covered them. There will be a shield, and so not everyone will be able to come and go as they please. Especially the people that are or I'll just say ungodly, whether it be spirits or people. They won't be able to come and mess with us. We'll be very, very well protected. You won't have to worry. You see, a lot of people are worrying about if they say, no, I'm not going to take the mark of the beast. They're going to kill me. Well, that's a possibility. But this is also a possibility also, too. Because there's going to be a lot of martyrs. You see, God has set aside a number of martyrs. And it is a privilege to be martyred. So, and if you have to be martyred, so be it. That's your destiny. You'll be with the Lord instantly anyway, and you won't feel any pain anyway. So you'll be in a better place, and congratulations. But the woman fled into the wilderness. The wilderness is not a bad place. There'll be plenty of food, plenty of water. You probably have soft beds. And where she have a place prepared of God. So can't be that bad. I'm pretty sure there'll be a lot of angels there preparing food for us and helping us and stuff like that. See, God has prepared it. It's ready. He's got it all planned out. So you know it can't be that bad. See, things are going to be more supernatural than they are now. You see, lots of people that have gifts will be able to use them and operate in them. And I don't know a whole lot of details, but if you have to just, if you refuse the mark of the beast, you can't pay your rent, or, the one world military force comes knocking at your door, and you have to run, and you have to just leave everything behind. You see, now you're in the wilderness. But God has a place prepared for you. And it's okay to run from them, because God has a place prepared for you. It's not something to worry about. Not something to be afraid of, because God has a place prepared for you. That you and I and God will feed her there 1,203 days. It's 3.5 years to be in the wilderness and to be pampered by God and taken care of by God. You see, the tribulation is going to be 3.5 years, and the time of peace will be 3.5 years. So that's a 7-year period. I don't know which 3.5 years period this will be. It could be the first part, it could be the second part, it could be in the middle. I have no idea. But it'll be for 3.5 years that we will be in the wilderness. And, it says here, should feed her. Now, what I get from being fed, or you being fed, is we're going to be taught, we're going to be trained, we're going to be around brothers and sisters in Christ. We're going to rejoice, we're going to fellowship, we're going to worship, we're going to praise, we're going to have church, and probably a whole lot of other stuff. It's going to be a pretty normal and pretty fun life in a great community. And I'm sure these communities will be all over the world. It just won't be one just big community. It'll be bunches of us, bunches of communities, maybe hundreds, maybe thousands of these, all over the world, and well protected. We're very well protected for 3.5 years. That's beautiful. So I'll leave that at that. But just back here for the two witnesses. The two witnesses, which is Moses and Elijah, they will, and I will give power unto my two witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,203 days. That's 3.5 years also too. Now I don't know if this will coincide with what I just talked about, if it'll be before what I just talked about, if it'll be after what I just talked about, but amazing. We're going to be a part of both of these. And Moses and Elijah, they're coming here for a reason. They're coming here to do God's work. And guess who is going to be doing God's work with them? Well, that's us. That's you. That is the remnant of God. That is the children of God. That is the sons and daughters of God. We will be ministering to others, and others will be getting saved. There'll be a lot of rebels out there that will not take the mark of the beast, and they won't even be saved. Soldiers and stuff, and all kinds of people that won't be saved. And we can minister, we can witness to them and not even be touched because we'll be shielded by the Lord. I don't know what our jobs are going to be individually. God has an individual job for you. He has one for me. He has one for all of us. But just strive. Strive to be righteous. Talk to God. You know, if you have any barriers that are blocking you from a relationship with God, try to figure out what they are and start working on them and ask God for all the help that he can give you. Because 30% is really, in my book, is not that good. That's like 30 out of 100. That's a 30-fold Christian. You could do better if you want to. There's a lot of Christians that don't want to. That's fine. They're still going to make it to heaven, but you probably just be an ordinary citizen. It's 60%, 60-fold. I always say 60%, but the Bible says 60-fold. That means 60% to me. So that means you're trying. You're trying a little harder than the 30 to do better, to be more righteous. You know, you're quitting doing things that are creating a barrier for you. You're trying to improve your life, your lifestyle to be more like Christ. And you're on your way. You're striving for the 100, but you're at the 60. I don't know what that entails, but you definitely want to be a part of this 3.5 years in the wilderness, because that's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be a lot of good training for eternity. Okay, now striving to get to the 100-fold. I know a few Christians that are 100-fold, and it's very hard to get there, and it's very hard to do. I don't know how they do it myself. I question, how on earth did you get to be the way that you are? I don't know them personally, but that's they got there, and they walk with the Lord. I mean, they literally see him every single day, talk to him, get translated all over the place, around the world and such. So doing missions for God, going up to heaven, going to hell to do missions for God and stuff. Those are 100-fold Christians right there. If you can get there, well, you're doing good.